Hey, this is Jenny Jones. Hey, thank you for visiting this channel. If this is your first time here, please go ahead and like and subscribe. If not, that's fine. Go ahead and leave a comment if you want to see anything else that we're doing here, or you wanted to comment off this video. But listen, I had the pleasure and opportunity to speak with a large organization several weeks ago, and I wanted to bring that same presentation here to share with everyone, to share with the masses and see if I can help you. At this channel, I'm always trying to help and grow you in your business. I'm always looking for different hacks. I'm always looking for different ways you can grow. But what I wanted to do was, I was asked to do a talk on how to grow and how to build an online empire. And I'm going to take a few minutes and kind of share with you a high level of what I shared with the audience there. And if you are one of those persons who's trying to look and trying to figure it out, there's a lot of different ways to go. There's a lot of different channels out there. What you're going to find is there's people out there doing it, and then there's a lot of people out there talking about doing it, and they're not doing it. I'm one of those people who are out there, and I'm actually doing it. I'm in my business every single day, but I'm a teacher by nature, and I love teaching, love sharing. So I wanted to share some things with my audience here. Building an online empire takes time to build. Right, you just don't build it overnight. And where did this concept come from? Where did the concept come from me, and why do I even think so differently? Back when I got into the stock market, back in the early, back in early 2000 when I got into the stock market. One of the things I noticed about a company by the name of Procter & Gamble and or PG is they owned a lot of products that I did not know. I can go to the store and buy Gain and Tide, or I can buy Bounce and Tide, not knowing that they were all owned by the same company. And once I got into stock, and once I saw what companies own and the reason why they owned them and how they all connected, if you look here, there's something glaring that jumps out to you that's very valuable in a time such as now. When we look at the economic contraction that's going on right now in the economy and in inflation, people will have a tendency to move to defense stocks. This is what's called a defense stock, meaning that no matter what happens, people will still need Tide and Bounce, right? Outside of a cyclical stock, whereas people want to travel and go on Carnival cruises and things of that nature. So it's positioning when it comes to stock. But what I wanted to do when I started building my online empires, I wanted to have things that people needed and that people can always, I wanted to give back, right? So my model is more education, and it's more growing people in their business so that they always have an opportunity to come back and grow more. And so I built mine, instead of always taking, I wanted to build a business model of always giving, and then it comes back to 2 and 3 fold. And Procter & Gamble owns a lot, right? You see that they own, if you need to shave, they got the shave, right? They got the Head and Shoulders, right? They got the Bounty, Duracell. They have Old Spice, Pampers, Always, right? Secret, Tampax, right? Dawn, Tide. These are things that they own. These are called consumer staples, right? And these are defense stocks. People take cover when the stock market is doing different things. They move to defense stocks. Procter & Gamble owns a lot of them. It owns a lot of the sector. That's where my ideal and my thinking became when I started putting together my digital real estate, my digital online real estate. These are all the online assets that I have, amongst many other ones that I don't have listed. But this is an overview of everything that I'm running, everything that I have. And what I wanted to do was dive deeper on some of the things and how they grew. But let me share with you some of the challenges that people have when they start trying to build an online empire. They don't know where to start. And let me tell you where to start. And a lot of this has to do with just understanding the economic cycle, having a background in finance, understanding how they're putting the sausage together out there in the financial markets. And one of the things you're going to notice is most people, when they start a business, most people say, well, I don't have any money to start a business. Okay, so if you don't have any money to start a business, let me go on YouTube. Let me see what everyone else is doing. If a person has 50,000, a million views on a video of showing somebody how to develop t-shirts, then that's what's called perfect competition, right? Everybody, 50 million people just learned how to create a t-shirt business. That's what we would call perfect competition. So everybody has an access to perfect competition. There is no separators. No one could change the market. No one's doing anything different. What happens is you have to, this is what's called the 4 different market types, right? And let's go the extreme where a person trying to create a t-shirt, and let's go to a monopoly, or like one firm, or a firm like the telecom, right? You got your Verizon, you got your AT&T, and they pretty much, and it used to be where AT&T had a monopoly. There was just AT&T. They were AT&T long distance, and they broke them up and they made them into regional telecom companies and so on and so forth. Don't want to get into that too much, but perfect competition is where everybody has access to it, and it's low barrier to entry. That means everybody can do it. I can start printing t-shirts tomorrow out of my garage. Where most people start operating because they want to learn how to do a business online is they start with a perfect competition. That's where they fail, because they figure out that everybody's doing it, or if everybody's drop shipping, or if everybody's selling on Amazon. What you have to do, it moves from a perfect competition to a monopolistic competition to oligopoly, right? A small number of people, lower barrier to entry. Where you really want to be is in an oligopoly, right? Or monopolistic competition. There's a large number of people, but the barrier to entry is a little bit smaller, right? Oligopoly is, it doesn't allow, a whole lot of people can't get into it. So what I did was I created a system, and we're going to talk about that. You created a system, and I got this, and I borrowed this from Robert Kiyosaki's Cash Flow Quadrant. And if you get an opportunity to read that book, it's a very fascinating book. And what he talks about is how you start out as an employee, right? And you have a job, right? You have a 9 to 5. But then what happens is you want to get into self-employment. So you have a job, you're doing t-shirts at night, right? So you own a job. So you go from one job, and then at night you're making t-shirts, or you're packing envelopes and you're shipping things out. You're self-employed. What you have to do is get to the point where you actually have a system working for you, right? And let's go back to this slide. You cannot have a system working in perfect competition, because what eventually happens is it becomes a price war, right? You have a mousetrap, I have a mousetrap. How is your mousetrap better? What happens is, and when you get into oligopoly, is you have to have differentiators that's going to make you different. And a lot of that comes from your own creativity and who you are as a person. People fail to realize that everybody on this earth can create their own company, create their own destiny, but it really comes from what they know and what we call as human or intellectual capital. That's where that's going to come from. You take your intellectual capital and you build your own system that works for you. So you go from employee to self-employed, where you're selling t-shirts, what have you, to building a system, right? And then you take that system and then you invest in that system, and then you create multiple systems from that system. Now you become an investor. You're no longer working. That's from the Cash Flow Quadrant of Robert Kiyosaki. But let's dig deeper, right? Let's go further. Jenny, how is it that you have 17 revenue streams? Well, let me explain to you really quick, and I'm not going to hold you much longer. What I did was, let me break down one stream for you. Let me tell you what happened is, I built up trust and I built up credibility. I built up the trust for people that know me and know what I give and what I share with them, and being known and being appeared on ABC, wrote in a couple of different magazines. I built up a lot of trust, but that also built up credibility at the same time, and knowing what I know. And when you're out now, when you look at Google's looking for authority figures. Who is an authority figure? If you're an authority figure in a local market, they will serve your ad, they will serve up your website and things of that nature if people give you recommendations, right? And so a lot of things are changing because there's a lot of noise out here on the web. So I took the trust and credibility. I wrote a book. I wrote the book, put it on Amazon, wrote the Amazon book. From that same Amazon book, I created a podcast. From that same podcast, I multiplied that podcast that was now on iTunes and multiplied it out to all the other podcasting streams. I actually took that same book. I created an app. The app is now in the App Store. It's not only in the App Store, it's back on Amazon under the Amazon Fire Stick. It's not only in the App Store and the Fire Fire Stick. It's also on Google Play. It's not only on the Amazon, the iStore, and the Amazon Fire Stick and Google Play. It's also in the Roku box, right? It's not only that, it's on iPhone, iPad, iTV, Android TV, Roku, Firebook. And again, that all started with one book with trust and credibility. I then took that, created a TV show from that one book. Not only that, again, it all started, and I still have creating revenue from the playing of the actual podcast. I took that, created another book from that, created another series. Again, repeat, trust, credibility. Did that, created a series, created another book series from there. Not only did I do that, I created another website from there and created another service from that. Again, I can rinse and repeat. I can do the same thing over again with my cookbook here. I can do the same exact thing. But again, how did I do it? This is how you build your digital real estate map. You build it piece by piece. You take that, you take something else that you know, you create another brand from that. You create another brand, you create another community from that. You create another community from that. You create software from that. You create software from that. You create another app from that. You create another app from that. You expand that app and let that app go. You create not only that software for that, you create another extension of that software, and you create 3 more softwares from it. Not only that, you then create a learning academy from it. After you create a learning academy from it, you create a money academy from it, right? How do you create a money academy? You take what you know, you take your experience, you're already doing investments. You take that, you create a money academy from that, serve it to the people in your academy, create platforms and software around that, right? You build out an entire real estate portfolio from that. You take that, then you take what you know already, then you, with trust and knowing people know who you are, you then create a whole nother brand from that. You create another brand from that. You create another academy. You create another academy from that. You create several more books from that. You create several more books from that. Then you create a whole catalog in your course catalog that you're always selling. You're always doing things. Ladies and gentlemen, this is how you build a online real estate empire. That's how Procter & Gamble did it. They built it from the things that people need, right? They're not over expensive. These are some of the things that's mostly on sale, but they're in different markets. What I want to do is share with you, have an opportunity for you. There will be a link in the description that I'll be able to share with you, and I'll have I'll be doing a mastermind group on how I built this and take everybody through the steps, step by step. And I'll be having a mastermind course. It'll be live. I'm only going to do it once. So get the opportunity to take advantage of that. And I'm going to show you how I built every last piece of this. I will get into the details of what's a good type of business to get into, right? Take you from beginning to end. How do you grow that? How do you scale it? I'll be going through the cash flow quadrant by Robert Kiyosaki, taking you from employed to self-employed. A lot of people want to just be self-employed, and that's not sustainable in some instances. So I'm going to show you how to grind on the side to be able to grow that as well. I'm going to show you how to put and line up and put your schematic together and how you're going to build out. You have to have vision for when you're putting your business together. And so I will have a masterclass. I'll be doing that once. I probably won't do it again this year, maybe the end of the summer after I teach another class that I have to do all summer. And so what we'll do is I'll go through that in my masterclass. I'll take you through each step. Again, this has been Jenny Jones, shared with my students at the last speaking engagement that I had, and which is another revenue stream, right? So again, 17 revenue streams. I'm going to show you guys how to do it by the numbers. If you join my masterclass, it's going to be inexpensive, not going to be that much, but I'm going to take you through all the different things I learned, right? All the people that I've sat under to learn all the different things that I've done, all the schools that I paid for to learn what I've done and to share what I've done in that aspects. This has been Jenny Jones. Click on the link below. If the link is not there, try to join my VIP masterclass and you'll probably be able to see it in there as well. Again, this has been Jenny Jones. Hope all are doing well. You guys take care. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm going to grow you. If you come to this channel, you're going to learn something from every video, from every time that I'm on. You guys take care. Bye for now.
The sequence of follow-ups like you see here. And this is really the power of marketing automation.
So a
Quite
person
frankly,
joins. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
So here my store is very much about the fashion. And here if you can look into the collection. So I have got the winter jackets. I've got the winter boots. I've got the scarves.
So
I've got
those are the
the
collect. So those are the.
And then business model, then activate marketplace. As a default, when you create your store, the normal store is the default of your store. You need to select marketplace,
All right.
and
So
this is
slide
the
down a little
whole
bit. Yeah.
flow.
So
Yeah,
you can set
yeah,
up a
yeah.
normal
The whole
store,
flow.
drop shipping, connect.